Let's see if anybody from Tunisia this time. Whoa. How many names does that guy have?
What, Justin Danger?
Tyler, Carrawell, Days, Appleby, something. I think they're talking about those kids that you sent us out in Santa Rosa.
Ah, gotcha.
That's very sharp resolution on that monitor. Look at that. You fly right over that thing on Soarin' on the new one. Soarin' Over America debuts in like 2 months.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I can't wait. I saw some of the sneak peeks from the filming. It looked pretty cool. Have you ever even been on Soarin' Over the World? Or have you only been on Soarin' Over California?
I can't say that I have.
You got 2 months to go on Soarin' before it's gone forever and the new one's there. You can broadcast live from the Land Pavilion. That's that guy that sounds like him. Are these your newest additions?
No, I just, honestly, I had the opportunity to interview J.T. Wright this weekend, a 92-year-old man whose father, he was one of 8 children, his father was the namesake of the unincorporated community.
Oh, wow, right.
You can ask me about that, too.
Does it have anything to do with Wright Parkway?
Yes, and ironically, the cemetery, he wasn't even like, he had forgotten about that. He's like, yeah, I don't think that's even really related. I think that was just like the town, the county decided to call it that.
Wow.
But like his dad's not even buried there. He couldn't even tell me his dad's like origin story, like how or why he came here. He said that he was a turpentiner, so obviously that,
Yeah.
but he didn't know from where.
Melvin Turpentiner. Was he pretty lucid?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think so. Can you scoot over just a little? There we go. All right. Maybe a little
We can
more.
do a duet.
A little more there, there.
I think really flaccid. No, it'll stay up. Look. I can make it stay up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I thought it was. Oh, it goes back down though if you don't keep messing with it.
Playground town I found, north, south, east, west, all our pressure bound. Fort Walton, that's my hometown. Big professional sound, Fort Walton, that's my hometown. Fort Walton, that's my hometown. That is is my hometown. That's many of your hometown. And I want to welcome you to Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing, your daily dose of, let's see, local news, a little bit of community engagement, your community sounding board. And if you would like to sound off with us, we're going to be doing it all day, well, at least between 3 and 5 p.m. 850-374-3468 is the number to call. Again, that's 850-374-3468. What a weekend. What a weekend indeed. I mean, we could just start with we could start with local sports. We could talk college football. We could talk NFL. Kevin is my co-host. Brady is my other co-host. He's the one answering the phone and answering and pushing all the buttons today. Gentlemen, how was your weekend?
Mine was good. I was off, watched a little local sports, like you said, watched a little playoff football, watched some college basketball. It was good.
Yeah, and both of you attended a particular sporting event this weekend that I unfortunately missed. And if you would like to go ahead and pick at that scab, the floor is yours.
Well, first of all, anytime it's Choctaw versus Fort Walton, no matter what the sport, it's big. I mean, from football all the way down to golf, tennis, cross country, weightlifting, it's big. But Friday night was the Choctaw Fort Walton game, the one at Choctaw at the TP, and it ended in dramatic fashion with Camry Johnson hitting a 3-point buzzer beater for the 66-65 win. We avoided the 6-7. And, I got to tell you, Brady, I have been to many a Choctaw Fort Walton games, no matter what the sport, and that's got to rank right up there as probably the top moment that I've witnessed in person.
Yeah, that was maybe one of, if not the best Choctaw game I've ever seen. In my 4 years at Choctaw, I've been trying to laugh my mind all day. I've only went to a few basketball games. There were a few good baseball games. I think my sophomore year we played Booker T in the first round of the playoffs. We finished with more losses than wins. Down 2-0, we scored one in the fifth. We scored one in the fourth, made it 2-1, one in the fifth, made it 2-2. And then my friend Jack Vaughn, hit 23, hit 2-run home run in the bottom of the sixth, and made it 4-2. And that was the score we won by. That might be the only athletic event that I would put in my head.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Friday was a goosebump moment. It was a just pure elation. I mean, I sent you the video, Gareth. I think you heard the capacity crowd. I've never heard anything that loud. I'm surprised you couldn't hear it from the house.
Yes, unfortunately. See, I went to the game the night before against Niceville. We finished up the show, and I made my way over there. And the team looks better than last year. I will say that. But after one quarter, the score was 8-8, and then Niceville kind of started to pull away a little bit, and I was just really tired. And I had a ticket to that game against Fort Walton the next night, but what I missed out by going to that Niceville game was a really good college football game the night before, or that same night, and I made the executive decision to skip the Fort Walton Beach game so that I could watch Indiana and Oregon on Saturday night. So, yeah.
What was the final on that one?
Well, if you're an Indiana fan,
yes, it was.
I mean, from the perspective of a sports fan in general, Indiana being the losingest program in college football history, it's kind of cool to see that sort of historic beatdown. But man, I would have absolutely loved to have been at the TP. And let me just say this about Camry Johnson. I taught him last year, and this could not have happened to a nicer, better dude. Like this gentleman shows up every single day, and he does the little things. Just as a student that this generation doesn't necessarily get credit for. And I never ask for anything from any of my students, but every occasion or a holiday or teacher appreciation, whatever, he was always there with a gift of some sort, a food item, a pat on the back, just wise beyond his years. And I was just so happy to see the outcome of the game rest on his particular basketball shot. And I don't want to give it away because I wasn't there, so I'll just turn it over to one of you guys if you want to narrate for our listeners exactly what happened.
Yeah, so if you really want to put yourself in the moment, I think
He does amazing work, by the way. Just major flowers for Travis Espy of Get the Coast.
Or if you do want to watch the game, it is still available on WEAR's social media and on their website. And if you have AirPlay, Roku, anything like that, you can just stream it right to your TV.
Is the most like, if you think of the standard disrespectful kid, like my age, and Cameron could not be further from that. He yes man going and being friends. I mean, he's the most respectful person I've ever seen. He's a dream kid. So his mom Elizabeth Johnson is on Facebook, and you can see the way he's receiving all of her cameras. He's elated. You can see kind of where she got that from. So it was a great job by her raising the kid. He did a better job by Cameron. He loves basketball as much as he loves other people. He put the work in. I want to go more in depth. We only have a minute left, and I think we'd be selling the whole short because we're only a minute left. But I was there in the student section. The students were walking after you. Kevin, you heard us from the other side. You heard Fort Walton was certainly traveling very well. Talk about the atmosphere.
It was your standard Choctaw Fort Walton atmosphere. The football has not been what it used to be, but the basketball has continued that standard of, it's more than a game for this community. It's a gathering point. It's a way to show your pride. You have alumni that come and it still matters, like they're playing in the game.
Fort Walton was favored in this game, were they not? I mean, on paper, they had the more talented team, correct?
Just despite Choctaw winning, 18 of the last 19 games, it was still considered an upset.
You're listening to Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing. I see that Camry's mother, Elizabeth Johnson, is actually one of our Facebook Live viewers. You can catch us here on the terrestrial radio or on Facebook Live. Go ahead and stick around because I think that we're going to have a pretty special guest in the next segment or two. Just waiting for him to show up here. This is for Gareth and Brady and Kevin, Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing. Stick around.
The next segment, your macho man voice.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Yeah,
the cream of the crop.
Remember when he did the handshake? Remember when he did this? He would put his arm on his... What was that about? You know what really was the downfall? Choctaw was maintaining and even went up to 8 one time. And when Michael Collins fouled out right at the beginning of the fourth quarter, that's when just the whole game flipped and Fort Walton started to... Michael Collins was just like the quarterback on the court. He was rebounding, he was scoring, he was playing defense, and he fouled out like the first play of the fourth quarter, and that's when it really started to turn in Fort Walton's favor. I mean, he's the only returning starter, so you kind of got to look to him for leadership. In my opinion, that's kind of when it started to take a momentum turn. Let's just hope there's no hangover tonight. It's a district game. Thank you. See you tonight against Mosley.
No, Elizabeth, you're the best. No, seriously, great parenting. Camry's the man. Tell him I couldn't be more proud of that guy.
Tell him to do it again tonight, but just don't make it so hard on the heart.
Right. And
A little stressful Friday.
Yeah, feel free to drop a bucket or two, anytime throughout the game, not just at the very end. But good job, Cameron. We love you, man. Don't come back.
Can't walk.
And welcome back. Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing is the name of the show. It's your daily dose of local news, community engagements. You can sound off with us. You can talk about local history. That's my personal favorite. Give us a call at 850-374-3468. Your hosts are Gareth Stearns, Kevin Horgan, and Brady Brooks. Again, that's 850-374-3468. Back in the day, Kevin and I used to prank call radio shows, and just for fun. And so we would, honestly, I wouldn't mind anyone that would just do that just to give us a change of pace here.
Well, we also prank called people saying that we were from radio shows
Very
and
true.
giving them a trivia question that they would answer and think they won a prize. And
When the Jerky Boys CD came out, you and I were like, really? This is...
we've been doing this forever. These guys are getting rich off this?
Yeah. We I guess that was just us slipping. We didn't...
Yeah, I don't think prank calls were after really much of a thing after the 80s or 90s.
No.
Amen. That was not available back in the 90s. We might not be standing here today.
Every now and then you'd come across someone that would leave a really creative message on their answering machine. And Brady, an answering machine is this device that we used to have in the house where, it's like an actual device that
Like a
created
box.
voicemail. And whenever you'd have someone with a creative message like that, we would always try to one up it and give it our own creative message. Or we would do like Russian roulette, metaphorically with the phone book, and we would just randomly select a number and we were Bart Simpson before Bart Simpson was ever Bart Simpson.
Sorry, Barry Milligan.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Didn't he live out in like Holly Navarre?
No, he lived in Shalimar and he worked at Albertsons and he fell victim to the
Anyway,
phone.
They decided to give us a microphone here in our adult years for 2 hours a day, 10 hours a week. The name of the show is called Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing. What we were doing in the last segment was talking about the excellent matchup that took place against Choctawhatchee and Fort Walton Beach High School basketball. We are giving the flowers to Camry Johnson, who hit the game-winning three-pointer at the buzzer, but it was just the way that it happened. I mean, Choctaw was down by 2 points. They did not have possession of the ball. In fact, if you go back and you listen to the WEAR3 broadcast, you can listen, the commentator actually narrates exactly what needs to happen, and then it happens. He's like, Choctaw's going to have to get a steal here, and Choctaw steals the ball. Choctaw's going to have to find an open shot here. Then Camry Johnson went up, and then he just nailed it, and it was just like Scott Howard from Teen Wolf, and minus the wolf.
Yeah, they tried to get a little tricky, tried to get a little creative. Fort Walton was having a little bit of trouble inbounding the ball. They didn't have any timeouts left, so Jordan Lee, I believe, funny enough, tried to inbound it off the back of a Choctaw player, and it careened into Kedar Washington, the point guard's hand, who had a nice high ball screen at the top of the key and from Reese Jones, if I'm not mistaken, and kicked it over to Camry on the left wing for the game winner.
I actually, now I will say this in my defense, because we talked in the first segment how I missed the opportunity to go to I chose not to go because I wanted to see Oregon in Indiana. In my defense, I actually did reach out to both Principal Heck and Athletic Director Thigpen on Friday, and Coach Bennett, actually. And I asked them, if they needed someone to be an announcer, because I noticed at the Niceville game, the person that was announcing the team players, they weren't being heard over the music, and then there wasn't much announcing throughout the entirety of the game. So I basically volunteered my services for that. And then I also asked if they had anyone to sing the Star Spangled Banner, because I kind of want to do that. That's just on my bucket list of things to do. And I never heard back in the affirmative or the negative for that, and I chose to watch the college football match instead, and here we are. But in the age of social media, I've seen so many different angles of the ending of that game, and it is just glorious to see, and I really hope that Camry Johnson was the man of the hour for all 7 hours of class time today at Choctawhatchee.
play before, Cameron shot a three-pointer that would have taken the lead, 14 seconds like padlock, and that was my charge we missed it. So that's a piece of your not only confidence, I can do it when I can just stop the win and do it really easy to do that. But for what one thing that works defensively for him, especially if you're pressing up, you need to be pressing and then trying to get another and take that talk. You're going to have to do that. So whenever you got even down the aggressive defensively, pressing up, it's hard to get by and then like I said, it's one around the horn. And the last guy that was trying to win had Will and Kedar.
It was Kedar Washington, who is just a ninth grader, running the point.
He was sitting next to Kedar's parents actually. They were like in the student section, and they ran and shoot it. And poor Walton almost like pulled up to Kedar like he was gonna take the shot, and I left him a little bit. And I was close enough to touch it. I wanted to reach out and touch him. You could hear. I wish he was there. You could hear the silence fall when the ball was up, and then it hit. And there was something like 28 seconds left. And it just ran out. And I remember when we were first on the court, he just came out. And I turned around to make sure people were following me. I didn't want to get singled out first and go. But after that, my friend asked him to move. He actually stepped up. Not a big spirit boy. He was a football player. He helped me get everyone out of everyone's spirit. He came out there, and then the stands were poured down. Some parents were coming down, a bunch of students, and the refs, they were blowing the whistle. They were blowing everything they had, and put on the really appreciated it. By that time, we were all pinning Cameron against the wall, and he was on the ground, pounding his chest, I do this, grabbing his green, and just telling him up and down, and everyone pulls him up, and he kind of walks through, and there's a pile of people surrounding him, and he gets thrown up in the air, and we're all jumping around, and we're like, hey, and so we all celebrate. There's a phrase that we use for him. I feel like this is a good phrase. Life boy of the year. He's known for life boy of the year every year. He has a shirt, I think, that says life boy of the year. So we're all chanting life boy of the year. He's interviewed by the news. And after that, I went to go see some of my friends and thank you so much for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Brady, the Fort Walton people couldn't get out of that gym fast enough. The Choctaw people couldn't leave. Didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave. I just wanted to soak in that moment because I don't care if you're 5 or you're 80. That was special to witness.
Yeah, and Andrew's big fan. Usually, sporting events don't make sure, get everyone out pretty quickly, late at night, they got to clean out. But I've been really fortunate. It's something I love. I actually looked back at the video, and the first thing I was worried about, and then I started to
What does that stand for?
For
Brady?
the win.
God.
They love Cameron. Everybody knows Cameron. Everybody loves him. They could not have been a really good person to get that shot. And this is kind of starting a long streak of games. This week, on Friday at FNCP, we have the girls basketball league in Fort Walton. The only sport that has beat us in this year. We're now 6-1 against Fort Walton, and we lost by 4. It's a chance to get that. And then next week on Friday, Fort Walton travels to Fort Walton Beach, and they play them in boys basketball. And I think they're going to be a kind of good.
Is that it, the Blue Lake and Blue Lake?
It's a worship concert kind of just 3 days
I will be in Orlando, not next week, but Bay Lake technically is where I will be. Not next week, but the week after.
Yeah, the Choctaw sports are really exciting. You can make it either one of the next 2 games, whether it be a Choctaw or
Make it tonight. They have a home game, a home district game against Mosley. Not only is that important, but how do you not have a hangover after the way Friday night ended? It's got to be tough. I know they had 2 days, but it's still a fairly quick turnaround.
And this is a division game tonight.
This is
a district game
yes,
tonight.
this is a district game against Mosley, who is ranked higher than them in the latest FHSAA playoff rankings. And you know, this tonight is more about mentality than it is about physically. How do you respond to the way Friday night ended? How do you keep yourself up and not get caught looking back at it and keep that momentum going forward? In which they are even, I believe, in district play, which is the important thing because that determines your seeding in the district tournament, and of course that's what determines the playoffs.
Playoffs?
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Choctaw comes out tonight against Mosley after the way everything played out Friday night, just all the emotion of the Fort Walton game. There will be a third of the crowd there tonight, a third of the noise, a third of the emotion, a third of the adrenaline.
That's 4/3.
Yeah.
They're a little better in terms of, where they're ranked on the not touch sort of rankings. Put this in perspective, Choctaw is ranked in the free range of 316. They just scored that in the not that budget year, so that ranked 154.
Choctaw 316 says.
I just hit a 3. Yes. Yeah, it's always interesting once you get into after the holidays and your tournaments are over and then you get into the core of your season, which is district play, to where every game becomes a big game because, like I said, it determines your seeding in the district tournament.
That's very true. You are listening to Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing. Where else are you going to get that sort of local, in-depth, on-the-spot coverage? But right here, 2 hours a day, 10 hours a week, from 3 to 5 on FM 94.3 FTW. We're also Facebook simulcasting, so stick around. We're trying to get our special guest in. If not, we've got a backup plan. We're going to have Irish Bill at 4 regardless. Thanks for sticking with us.
You got a special guest on Facebook Live.
All right, let's get him on the phone.
Tell him to call.
Hey, Camry, call us. 850-374-3468. Let's get you on. Brady, we're going to have Camry call, hopefully. Okay. Brady's trying to call you, apparently, Camry. 850-374-3468.
That district's not right. No, it might be. They played a lot of district games.
Guys, thanks for sticking around. I'm supposed to have Justin Nunley on the show today. I have not been able to reconnect with him.
Escambia, Choctaw, yeah.
He's obviously a pretty busy dude. He was supposed to be here at 3:15. I have a show planned regardless. And Justin, if you're listening, I would love to rebook you if you are still unable to make it in today. But we're going to keep looking for you either way. Thanks for at least considering us.
We played him. I think the one at Choctaw went into overtime. Right at the beginning of the year, unless I thought that was last year. But they only beat us by 2 at home and 8 on the road. Yeah, it'll be so interesting to see how they come out tonight after Friday.
Can we get the Choctaw coach on the horn?
He not on a game day, but he will be any day this week. He might be a shoot around or something. Justin Nunley.
I guess we've got a couple minutes.
You think he's probably going to make a TikTok ribbon yet?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing. I made a Facebook post this morning.
Oh, yeah.
I tagged him in it.
Delete it.
He's tagged on this post. I tagged him on this Facebook Live. It's 4.3 million followers. It didn't matter. We only have 6 fucking people on here.
I don't have anybody from Tunisia today.
That's all right. It's fine.
It's not like we can't shoot.
It's fine. Is he talking to someone on the phone?
I hope so. Why isn't it Camp Walton? Camp Walton. That's my hometown. Would that be correct
Could be.
for that era?
Well, but that record was released in like '69, maybe '67.
What year?
67.
Cameron Johnson.
He's on? Alright, Camry's on
All right, cool.
when we come back. He should come back
Hey,
later.
is that thing on?
Yes. Remember when you did that during the football game?
Yeah.
Hurry up, make Brady easier.
What does that mean? If he was, does that mean he's the one that did
Yep,
it?
it means he's the one that did it. His mom probably knows what it means.
Hey, we were trash talking that white kid from Fort Walton, and he had 2 threes in a row, and he came right in my face and did that.
Did he?
He
That
came,
that Iverson kid?
he came right in his
It's pretty
face.
frustrating. I mean, he earned it. He was hitting that.
He had a nice fro too. White guy
He's
was
6'7", 6'9" with the fro.
what? How tall? My nephew would be quite excited. Actually, Justin Nunley's youngest son is on my nephew's baseball team in Shalimar Little League.
Nice. Can you ask him why he didn't show up?
When the season starts in like March, I can. I'll fight him if you want.
Charlie Kirk.
If I win, you come on the show.
Huh?
I'll fight him, and I say if I win, you come on the show.
No, because we want him to come in anyway. It's fine. Something probably just came up.
Mhm.
Just like on the Brady Bunch.
When Cindy saw Greg smoking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something suddenly came up.
I don't think it was his letter jacket. Remember the cigarettes in the pocket?
Yeah.
That wasn't his, was it?
Greg was smoking.
Smoking. I saw Greg in a park with the twins, and he was smoking.
Boots on the ground.
Cynthia Starling's not watching, is she? Oh, no. Sorry. We could turn this into a great comedy show.
We should do it. We
People
should,
would-
we should,
they
we should,
might
we
get
need to
more
do a podcast.
listeners.
Skylar does it with his morning show guy. He has a podcast with his morning show guy.
I got all the equipment for a podcast, like all this Bluetooth iPhone stuff.
Like, we need a board like that.
No, it's all built in. Because Stringer wants to do one with us.
We should get him on the phone.
We're gonna hurry up and get this in and really need it. We have a man at Fort Walton Beach over the last weekend, Cameron Johnson, who in a rivalry game in his senior year had the movie moment of his life. He hit a buzzer beater. Cameron, what are you doing right now? You getting ready to shoot around? Nothing, I'm sure, comes as big as you. So I understand you probably blacked out and you're trying to recount to me that you didn't really remember much other than kind of just running around after. That was probably what you did. What were you seeing? What were you after?
Now, did you know when you released the ball? Did you know it was down? Kind of like Larry Bird when he won the 3-point contest. He stood there for a second.
So, did you feel a difference with all the students there? I mean, obviously it's Fort Walton, but you know, you had a bunch of students there, and the atmosphere different. Was that a difference that you feel?
Hey, Cameron, real quick. I've noticed something that this must be something that the new coach has brought in, but I noticed that at home games, now the players come up into the crowd and thank us for coming. Is that something that the coach brought with him? That's really cool and it's a really awesome tradition. I hope that sticks.
That was Chris Barnes' day. I'm excited to see it come out, and hopefully this will be what they need. Everyone says a great game at Hampton Stadium. You said it's a great game to have the shot, you know. Yeah, and this last day, you know, you spoke a little bit about it, and that's one of you guys asked after. But how do you handle not letting you get your head a little too big? I mean, obviously enjoy the moment. Tell us about it.
Camry, twin, that was a season-defining moment. No, it's Gareth at this point, my friend. It's Gareth. And I was going to ask a very similar question to Brady, but as he always does, he encapsulates and is much more short-winded than I am. I just want to say all the flowers are deserved, but you are just a stand-up young man. I couldn't have asked for that moment to have been handled by a more upstanding young man on that team, and way to represent Big Green Nation, my friend.
We will be there tonight. We will see you in a few hours.
Go Big Green. Go Big Green indeed, man. What a great kid, great weekend. We're going to be talking about all sorts of, we haven't even touched on college football or NFL or anything. We're going to try to hold off as much as possible until 4 o'clock when we get Irish Bill on the phone. He's our normal sports guru on Mondays, and we've got some playoff football, both in the college realm and in the NFL side of things. And I'm starting to think at this point that my special guest for today is probably not going to make it. I'm just going by my context clues. We were supposed to have Mr. Justin Danger Nunley in studio today at 3:15, and for whatever reason, he's obviously a busy dude. He's got 25 million followers to satisfy, and probably out making a funny video right now.
Selling motorcycles.
Yeah, that's right. He entered into retirement from the United States Air Force last year and became a part-time owner in Emerald Coast Harley Davidson. So, Justin, if you have the time in a future on a future date, I'd love to have you in studio. I spent a lot of weekend trying to get up to speed on who this man was. Believe it or not, he doesn't have a Wikipedia page, which I find odd, because if you go to the City of Fort Walton Beach's Wikipedia page, it has like a section for notable people, and you're going to have people like Danny Werfel and Glenn Coffey and E.G. Green and the guy that plays Jack Reacher, even though he was from Niceville.
Dick Covey, maybe?
Dick Covey's definitely on there. By the way, I became Facebook friends with his grandson, I believe. It's funny you mention him, because I'm trying to get him on the show.
That would be cool.
And if you don't know who Dick Covey is, Brady, he was a 1964 graduate of Choctawhatchee High School. He is a retired Air Force colonel, and he piloted 4 space shuttle missions in the 1990s. The Space Shuttle Endeavour was one of them. As a matter of fact, he made it onto an episode of Home Improvement, playing himself, talking about the mission. And a not fun fact at all, but a fact that has to do with him is when the Challenger explosion happened, the Challenger space shuttle in 1986, he was the gentleman that was on comm with the Challenger space shuttle itself. So
the crew.
Yeah, he was the one that recognized the issue and had the no response, and so I would love to have him on the show as well. Anyway, Justin Nunley does not have a Wikipedia page, and I found that interesting.
Yeah, Brian Marshall has one.
I also reached out to him as well, or at least his wife. Been working on that one as well. No, listen. I actually anticipated this very event happening because Justin Nunley's just a busy dude. He could be selling a motorcycle right now with a sidecar attached to it. Who knows? Which is what I would do if I bought a motorcycle because it balances things out. And plus, I mean, who has a sidecar these days? So I've got a little one-liners here that I'll give my best Justin Nunley impersonation throughout the day. I'll do my best to fill in the gaps.
Get her done.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Do you know turtles can breathe through their butts? They literally hibernate by butt breathing. The science is wild. Let me just walk away wearing my Crocs now. Ooh, are you so? That's got to be a wrong number. But who uses their phones to actually make phone calls these days, anyway? So yeah, I did Justin Nunley appeared on the Undertaker's podcast in late 2024, the 6 Feet Under podcast with Mark Calloway.
Wow.
And yeah, it was like an hour and a half. In fact, his son was on there as well. He got the opportunity to ask some questions. And Kevin, you and I were big professional wrestling fans growing up, so what an opportunity that must have been. What would you ask the Undertaker if you had the opportunity? Can you think of? I'm sorry to put you on the spot with that, but
I would ask him. He personified WWE. He never jumped ship. He never took the money. He only had 4 world title runs.
And they weren't the longest runs either.
No, and they weren't the most celebrated.
Ooh. Well, I'm looking forward to that. You want to take us to the break then?
Somebody named Jeremy Bullock for the number on there, so I held it up.
Yeah, he's actually the guy I sat with at the Niceville game. He sells cars over at Gary Smith Ford.
So it's not Bull Buchanan?
No.
Or Bull Durham?
No. Where's some other Bulls?
Chicago Bulls? The Durham Bulls?
Bull.
The Buffalo Bulls?
Yeah.
No, the college is actually Bulls.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Sandra Bullock?
Bull Cartwright.
Bull Shatner.
Yeah. The Bolsheviks.
Bullet Zukov.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was great Heat singing the Russian national anthem.
They never even said it and sang it in the right key.
You think that's copyrighted?
I don't know.
Think guys would come if we played it.
Is there like a bull? Is there a bull bumper that we could play? Like
the Russian
bull. What's the charging of the bulls, running of the bulls? Is there
the Blue Oyster Bar theme music?
We're coming back. We're coming back.
No hand signals.
All right. That's one way to get a Facebook copyright violation. No, well, it hadn't popped up yet, but give it time. If I talk over it enough, maybe I won't get the notification. Yeah, that's right.
There's no synthesizer. Brady just has a great voice.
He does. You're listening to Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing, your daily dose of local news, community engagement. If you want to sound off about something, if you want to talk about local sports, local news, whatever, you can give us a call at 8503. Did you go to the Fort Walton Beach Choctaw game? Of course you did. My dear Lord, one of my biggest regrets. That's right, we didn't even talk about that.
Bull, now correct me if I'm wrong. You are a local graduate of a school in Okaloosa County, correct? Okay, that was going to be my next. That was a leading question. So, were you pulling for Choctaw the other day? Fair enough. Fair enough. Were you the ball boy the year of the state championship? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're pretty much responsible for Choctaw State Championship. Thank you. That's it's in the ether. It's there. No backsies. Hey, listen. Did you know that wombat poop is cube shaped? Cubes. Perfect little biological dice just scattered all across Australia. Yeah. See, if Justin Nunley had been here, he probably would have been able to provide that factoid to you. Oh, yeah.
The big game.
Yeah, that's right. We actually have an event, a little fundraiser for Paws called the Super Bowl. We're not allowed to use the phrase of the big game, which is happening that same weekend. But our event is called the Super Bowl, and it's going to be taking place at Friday in the Mid South Bank parking lot. And yeah, it's yeah. Well, you mentioned a youth sports group. Tell me a little bit more about that, Bull. Yeah, averaging 5.6 points per game and point .9 assists per game. Okay, maybe we should get him on the show sometime. Yeah. There is no other person that has ever played, that has worn a Choctawhatchee basketball jersey that has played a minute of action on the NBA. Other than
Not Kelly Wise.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. About the Hawks. I think he was actually taken by the Pelicans first, and then
Traded to the Hawks. Yes.
Yeah.
They had back-to-back picks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Choctaw High School.
Maybe during the All-Star break we could get him to call in.
They were at Montverde Academy.
Well, it's a really cool story. We need to try to get Asa maybe during the All-Star break. It's kind of busy in the regular season, but maybe during the All-Star break we get Coach Thigpen to. I know that Coach Thigpen.
Coach
keeps in
Bennett
contact
has his
with him.
information.
Yeah.
Today, and we talked about, you know, Choctaw, now head coaches of the 2 straight wins. The future, obviously, a lot of hard work, right? The Fort Walton on that led to league transfer to Fort Walton when there was talks that maybe Roger Starks would transfer from Fort Walton over to Choctaw. And those are some really cool guys. Maybe the teams that were separated, but Choctaw's young talent has been the reason why they leave. They have 2 consistent playing seniors, Michael Collins and Cameron Johnson. And Michael Collins had a large day in the game on Friday. Fourth quarter, I believe he fouled out early.
Very early fourth quarter, and that's when the pendulum of momentum kind of shifted. Choctaw was maintaining a couple possession lead, and then when Collins fouled out, he was kind of like the quarterback on the floor, the one returning starter, and it seems like that's kind of where Fort Walton kind of started to go on their run. But Jordan Lee transferring to Fort Walton enabled Kadar Washington to come in and start on varsity as a freshman, and that is going to benefit Choctaw in the upcoming 2-3 years because he's averaging 10 points a game as a freshman.
Oh, I love his
He's
hands,
only going to
too.
get better.
He's got some really great handles.
Number 11, the point guard. Yeah, and Jordan Lee transferring enabled him to start right away as a freshman instead of either riding the bench or playing on junior varsity, which is only going to benefit. Yeah, he is a nice. Choctaw starts a freshman, 3 sophomores, 2 freshmen, 3 sophomores, and a senior.
And I think the future's really bright. I wouldn't be surprised if Barnes is not this season. I think he's definitely going to stay. He's going to develop these guys. Barnes is actually a 4-year starter at Fort Walton Beach High School. His first regular season rivalry against them, running with the Liberty gets the win. And the young talent we have, I don't think there's a better coach in the area. He just coached at Vernon. He's converted to Choctaw. I believe it was great for him. Coached a lot of those kids at Fort Walton. He's got young talent that he can mold into his play style. I talked to Cameron. It's a lot of just kind of higher out the guys. They're very good at standing. The drills are nonstop passing that shot. Go way down and just scoring the actual shot. They're really drive type team. He develops these kids in the it almost reminds me of kind of like a Shanahan LaFleur type offense in the NFL where they will wear you down and mentally you lose track.
And Coach Bennett told me before the season, he said, we're young, but we are going to play hard, and we are going to play fast, and we're going to play unrelentless. And that's kind of what the moniker they've taken, especially on the defensive end of the ball.
I know the play. Go ahead.
just gonna ask you, at the beginning of the game, 40 got on fire, me and Ashley and Bird were taking our turns to having to weekend. I forgot what I said. I said something you said just for fun. And you get this movie right in front of you, right about where Henry is, and you turn around and you kind of stuff his hand with his thumb pointing towards him.
I think at one point he hit 3 in a row after Collins fouled out. Yes.
Bull, thanks so much for calling in, my friend. We're going to see you tonight at the Choctaw Mosley game. Appreciate it. By the way, if you need to buy a car, you can buy one from Bull over at Gary Smith Ford. Stick around. We're going to come back with some more fun action with Irish Bill on Fort Walton Beach. What we're doing. Is it 4 o'clock yet?
3:59 and 42 seconds.
good. We got about 60 seconds left. And
I should have called Stringer when we were talking about the game earlier. Had him chime in with us. Backpack. Nice ankle bracelet.
What's that?
Nice ankle bracelet. Oh, did that fall down again? You know what movie that was from?
Naked
The
Gun.
Nude Gun, yep. Priscilla Presley.
Was it 33 and a third?
No, it was the first one. The one with Priscilla Presley, The Nude Gun.
Hey, nice beaver.
Thanks, I just got it stuffed. Probably came out.
You remember how in the Naked Gun? Well, remind me to tell you that the fun fact about the Naked Gun and the umpire chest protector.
Okay. Remember D'Lo Brown's chest protector?
Mm-hmm.
Wore that for 8 years for that torn pec muscle. Nacky.
Irish Bill, thanks so much for joining us once again, man. Yes, you are our college football guru, and we had a really fun. Well, I mean, if you're an Indiana fan and you appreciate all of the losing season, the totality of the losing seasons that they put together, you kind of have to appreciate all of the turning of the tables and how they kind of ran up the score against the Ducks from Oregon. We have talked about that to death.
Yeah.
I'll say this from the perspective of a Florida State fan. I have not been a fan of Oregon since 2014 when Florida State, they had won the national championship the year before, and then they had gone undefeated in the regular season, but like had 6 games where they shouldn't have won, but they came back in really spectacular ways. Nonetheless, they had made it undefeated, and they were the 4th ranked team, even though they were the defending national champions and undefeated. So that was, another little year where they kind of got screwed, and they ended up having to travel all the way out to Los Angeles for the Rose Bowl to play Oregon, who barely had to travel. And then Jack Nicklaus's grandson injured himself in warm-ups, and then FSU, I think it was Dalvin Cook, he fumbled the ball and was returned for a touchdown. And right off the bat, Florida State was just up against it and had no opportunity or time left to really put together any sort of game plan. And I saw a lot of similarities in this game on Saturday night when Indiana, D'Angelo Pons returned the very first snap of the game for an interception for a pick 6 right out the gate. And then it was just up to Fernando Mendoza to do his surgical, masterful completions, and it's incredible to see the sea of red that was in that stadium.
Different game, different schools, Gareth. Yes, the tight end. What a quarterback rating. I wonder what that quarterback rating is. Absolutely. Yeah, for what it's worth, I know they're different schools, different seasons, different states, but I do believe Miami did beat Mendoza last year.
Florida State
beat him and intercepted him twice. One of those two was returned for a touchdown, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't know how they did that. So, Bill, tell me what you think of going into the national championship game. We've got kind of unheralded Miami, who didn't even play for their own conference's championship, that have really proven that they belong. I believe. I don't think there's an argument that can be made that Miami did not belong, that the committee did not get it right. What do you think is going to be the outcome of this game? Is Indiana finally going to be tested, or is this going to be the end of this storybook Disney movie season that the Hoosiers have put forth?
Well, Alabama also is money and revenue and ratings, and NCAA is making money. And what Carson Beck is going to show up? Being from Jacksonville, he went back home. Yeah. Being from Jacksonville Mandarin, I believe, who was the only team to beat St. Augustine this year until the regional final, not to brag. He did come back home. Like Bill said, he got paid, and he's kind of been an interception machine, but it looks like the Georgia Carson Beck might have shown up last week against Ole Miss.
Yeah, we really talked about it going into the more so in the festival, because after that win against Ohio State, we kind of realized the potential that Miami team had. And they've always worked with Carson Beck, and really depending on how close to the ceiling or floor that he's Carson Beck is a championship caliber quarterback. The question for me isn't him, is that it's if he plays like a national championship quarterback, which I believe he has the capabilities in, their defense needs to play so good, and they need to have Fernando Mendoza. And like you said, it's a multi-dimensional offense. They're not only trying to stop the quarterback, they're trying to do, but you really need Indiana playing as close to their floor as possible, and Carson Beck needs to flourish. I don't know if this is like a TCU type game. I was just looking at Fred's recent history. Some of the notable ones that we can talk about. This is an 8.5 point spread that we have in the Alabama, Ohio State final in 2021 was an 8-point spread. Alabama ended up winning that one 52-24. Alabama, Georgia in 2022 was a 6.5-point spread, and Georgia won it 33-18. Clemson, Alabama in 2019. Clemson was a 5-point spread. That was classically Lawrence versus Terminal Row. Clemson won 44-16. So usually with the spread like this, you see games that 2-1 in the borderline blowouts. I think that's probably what we're going to see here. I want to see an entertaining game.
Well, I will say, I do believe, Bill, if I'm not mistaken, this will probably be the best front four that Mendoza's faced all year. Number 4 for Miami, his name is I'm completely drawing a blank, but Bain. I think their front four has the talent to put some pressure on him.
That,
Thank you. Mike Gareth, I put $20 on Miami.
yeah, I'm gonna win regardless. I'm gonna win 82.50 if Miami wins. I'm gonna win 110 if Indiana wins.
God, the odds have gone down now. Now, if you bet $100 if Indiana wins, you wouldn't even win 110.
Yeah.
If you bet 100.
That was just $10 though. Those are just $10 bets.
Well, that was when you place it. If you place that $10
I actually placed
bet
that
now,
$10 bet after they beat Oregon the first time. I was like, you know what? I don't see them losing after this, and that's why it would have been a lot bigger payout.
If you place a $10 bet today and Indiana wins it, you would win $11.38.
All right.
Well, when you got Mark Cuban running your NIL.
Yeah.
Gary, did you hear about that?
No.
The Marcus Freeman allegations, they just came out yesterday.
No, what is it?
Google, he's facing some trouble. Stemming from like a high school wrestling tournament last year. That's Notre Dame's coach.
Marcus Freeman allegations.
Just hit yesterday.
Okay, Notre Dame says they're unfounded.
Of course, Notre Dame's saying that. That's my head coach, man.
Yeah, this is my quarterback. This story has been updated with the denying any physical contact occurred between head field coach and Miami Prairie High School wrestling coach.
So it wasn't a minor.
It said that took place Saturday, January 3rd at Mishawaka High School. As a wrestling coach.
I am Maureen. Oh, she can't hear me, can she? That thing's plugged in.
No, she can't. Yeah. By the way, your broadcast partner of Navarre Raiders football games, Mr. Bob Grant, is one of our viewers on Facebook simulcast, and he just said, "I love me some Irish Bill." He's just a solid dude. He refereed all of my basketball games for the YMCA in the 1980s. I remember he was like the head. I don't know what his job title was, but it was like from a kid's perspective, I remember being like the head counselor person that he was in charge of all the lock-ins. Do you remember lock-ins
Yes.
when you would like spend the night at the YMCA
Yes.
and they would lock you in and you could play, basketball all night or do whatever. They had all sorts of cool games. Anyway, yes, Bob Grant, salt of the earth. Good.
Really fun. We had that night we went to practice and really fun.
We're talking about practice, not a game, not a game. Practice, man. I mean, what are we talking about here?
We had to practice under the lights, which was really fun. And that night we all stepped inside the locker room, very fun. And then we woke up the next morning and did the initiation. I used to remember elevator or something. We all had to hang upside down on the street for 60 seconds. You go upside down and kind of back up on a handstand to the tree and then climb up it and just like hold on to the tree like barely upside down off the ground for 60 seconds. So it's just that was one of the last things I did before I kept it. That's actually funny you say that. That was gonna be my next question for you. Was going to be the NFL draft. I know college football is definitely your place, but I'm a big NFL guy, and I need your perspective. You watched Dante Moore all season. You watched Fernando Mendoza all season. I think really anything can happen in the national championship game, but I do think that Fernando Mendoza is going to be the consensus number one for the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't see them trading down, although there are some guys in the top few picks that could trade down. I think the Raiders will really Mendoza. The number 2 pick, the New York Jets. They need about all they can get, but they really need a quarterback. I think that'll.
No, I think the Giants dropped it like 5 or 6.
The Giants ended up dropping after Jackson Dart. They won their final game against the Cowboys. They were picking the spot.
Let's not forget the Raiders also drafted Todd Marinovich for what it's worth. So
Honestly, the Giants would have done better by just saying, hey, Jackson Dart, you're very kind of quarterback. They got their guy. If they landed out Harbaugh to coach him up, the Giants would be good.
Irish Bill, talent aside, who do you think would be a better fit in Sin City? Dante Moore or Fernando Mendoza?
Bill, speaking of Sin City, did anybody, Bill or anybody else, see that article today? Dan Mullen, who's the head coach at UNLV, signed out of the transfer portal a defensive back that he signed out of high school at Florida in 2020. What is college football becoming? Avery Helm, who was a 4-star defensive back, he was a parade All-American. I believe he was from the state of Mississippi, and Dan recruited him at Mississippi State hard, and when he came to Florida, he brought him with him. But, you come full circle, but it's been 7 years by the time it kicks off next year. I couldn't agree more. And people, I've heard all year about the transfer portal. I think it's the new recruiting. A lot of people say it's ruining college football, but if anybody watches college basketball, the transfer portal is way more prevalent. And, I was watching Memphis and FAU yesterday. There was a guy from Memphis, Amat Bradshaw, former McDonald's All-American. He is a junior. He has played at Kentucky. He has played at Ohio State. He has played at Cincinnati, and now he is at Memphis as a junior in college.
Wow.
Including a national champion winner at Florida last year who transferred from UT Chattanooga, which I have some ties to, and Sam Alexis. Go Mocs.
I'm gonna come in here. We got about 5 minutes. This is definitely not enough time to do the NFL head coaching, the head coaching status is going on, and there is some very prevalent names out there. I would say the Browns, the Cardinals, the Falcons, the Ravens, the Giants, the Titans, the Ravens, and the Dolphins are the people that have fired their head coaches. So if it even be another firing this week, it's very possible they'll move on from the Steelers will move on from Mike Tomlin if they suffer a loss against the Texans because that would most likely be the quarterbacks that move on. You might as well start talking a little bit on John Harbaugh. Is there any matches you're looking for? Do you feel like Harbaugh is the best name on the market?
Did
I would hate that because he goes to Don Shula's win that was exactly that late afternoon and Don Shula is take a little time. And I stand by that phrase despite the lack of Super Bowls. He has all the time in his life.
did anybody ever figure out the picture a few years ago? Was that photoshopped, or does Mike Tomlin have a twin that coaches for the Steelers as well?
I would say the Dolphins. I don't know what direction I want to get. I would comment on the Packers game that happened last night. That was a rough week of life. I had a cousin who's a Packers fan. Doug Hope, that's his
Hey, Doug.
The Packers have struggled in late season.
Omar Epps. Was that who you were thinking of?
No,
Omar Epps, Mike Tomlin. No.
Type in Mike Tomlin picture. Type in Mike Tomlin picture. Oh, on the sideline.
So I think the best game on there right now is Harbaugh, and I think a very, very close second place. And I'm a little bit biased. My pick Daniel is for sure the best offensive mind still on the market. If you remember in 2019, the San Francisco 49ers, the defense of coordinator Robert Saleh, who's still with the Niners now after having a brief stint with the Jets. And my pick Daniel is the offensive coordinator under guys like Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. They had really good runs. They had Jimmy Garoppolo and George Kittle. And this is a team that the right guys were assembled in the McDaniel offense that they can never really replicate in Miami. And he was a very good offensive mind. Jimmy Garoppolo, who may not be regarded as a Super Bowl quarterback, very similar to Brock Purdy, where you wonder how his production will be if he's on a different team. I think if McDaniel goes to Tennessee, I think he will unlock a special part of Cam Newton we saw glimpses of this year. And I think the Titans can be competitive.
Wow. Bill.
Yeah, you gotta coach to win. Now, when you get into a mindset of coaching not to lose, you kind of flow. And I think with LaFleur, they made it as far as an NFC Championship game when Aaron Rodgers is there. But if not this offseason, after next year's season, seeing how things develop, and if it comes to another late game postseason loss, I think it's going to be time for Green Bay to find a new coach to develop. Jordan Love, we got 30 seconds left. Would you guys like some closing thoughts here?
I'd like to ask Bill, with the last 30 seconds, how about the Lady Raiders and Abby Fogg, the big win the other night? You want to talk about it? And to beat Niceville by, I believe, it was what, 61-51? Yeah, that was a big win. Thanks for coming on as always, Bill.
Perfect segment, Irish. Well, I mean, we'll see you again soon. I won't be here tomorrow, but I'm sure you'll be on soon. Irish Bill, thank you for your knowledge as per usual. Your knowledge as a listener is that you can come find us in about 5 minutes when Garrett gets back from his bathroom break. We'll be here to talk a little more.
That's right. That's right. Very true. Very true.
I got Bill fired up with that last comment. Did you hear him?
Yep.
I was waiting for that. Oh, Bill. If we do football next year, we're going to have to get him and Bob a booth. They deserve it. Instead of doing it in the bleachers. We'll have to go there next year. Tomorrow, so.
LSU has landed, it says LSU likely to land Sam Levitt from Arizona State.
Well, they got a quarterback from like Furman or Eli from Wofford that is unreal. LSU just got it was one of the Southern Conference teams.
Who was?
Jared Appleby. Did you know when my cousin Joey played football for Chattanooga? You know Furman was their rival. You know who Furman's quarterback was?
I feel like I should know this.
Billy Napier.
Really?
So I saw Billy Napier play in college. I saw Steve McNair. I saw Terrell Owens. I saw Chad Pennington, Eric Kresser, Randy Moss.
Hey, you know what? UNCW is getting screwed in the rankings.
I looked at that. You're right.
It's like if you look at
Just win your conference and get in the big dance.
out of all the teams that have 2 losses, like if you look at the whole rankings or whatever, like they're I don't remember who it is. Someone's at 39, and then you go all the way down to 110 with UNCW.
What's their strength of schedule though?
Their 2 losses are to Kent State, who only has 4 losses, which is really odd to me.
One of those is the undefeated Miami of Ohio.
That's right, and then they had a 1 point loss to Howard, who is in the MEAC. So that's
So they had that loss. Because normally UNC Wilmington has lost to defeat like Duke and Wake Forest or
And they don't have
Kentucky
any
and UCLA.
They don't have any highly ranked. Like they won't play anyone ranked this year.
No, but they'll win their conference tournament
I
and make
hope
it
so.
to the big dance.
I hope so.
Nice looking gym.
Yeah, it's
Did
fun.
it just look like a building from the
They're
outside?
playing the Camels of Campbell on Saturday.
Oh
That's their
wow,
next
that
game.
would have been the spot.
I'm trying to get Jack to go.
Non-filters or regulars?
Yeah. We can shoot about that too. Just how.
We shoot about Christensen coming out of the Black Angus like this. Go, 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 go!
Is Frank out of there? 'Cause I gotta pee. Damn.
I wonder what he's doing in there so long.